I have not been here long. I met Mr. George, a man in his 70s, living in a small town on the shore of Lake Michigan. Every morning, he gets up at 5 a.m., makes a cup of tea, then walks slowly along the lake in the thin mist. But recently, Mr. George began to feel numb in his legs, his steps were no longer steady, and he had to stop after only a few hundred meters. At first, he thought it must be old age, but the truth was not so simple. One morning, standing in front of his house, he sat down on his familiar wooden chair, rubbed his cold knees, and said to me, "I feel like my body is slowing down, like the blood is no longer strong enough to go everywhere." The words calmed me down. George is not alone. There are millions of people like him, living with vague, silent symptoms every day. From numbness in the hands and feet, to pain when walking, or simply feeling cold for no reason. But behind those seemingly normal signs, there may be a silent health problem developing: blood circulation. In today's video, we will delve into the secrets of the circulatory system, the thing that silently nourishes the cells in your body, and can also be the thing that will determine whether you live a healthy life or face dangerous complications like heart disease, disability, or the end of your life. This is not just a medical story. This is your story, your parents' story, or a loved one's story. And maybe, in just 30 minutes, you will see your body with completely different eyes. If you've ever stood in front of a pole, pressed your hand to a puddle, and felt your heart pounding under your palm, congratulations, you've just nurtured the source of life. The circulatory system, with the heart as the engine and the blood vessels as the maze of pathways, is the reason you can open your eyes in the morning, move your hands, feel the warmth of someone you love, and even feel pain when someone hurts you. Every minute, your heart pumps about 5 liters of blood throughout your body, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every finger, every hair, and bringing waste back for processing. Think of the complete circulatory system as a bus system. The central station is the heart, the roots are the blood vessels. If the buses run regularly and on time, everything is shared. But if there's a traffic jam or a section of the road breaks down, the whole system goes haywire. I remember my grandmother, an Italian woman living in rural Connecticut. She loved gardening, working every morning in her row of red tomatoes. Until one day, she told me that she felt dizzy when she went down, and her hands and feet were cold even in the middle of summer. At the time, we thought it was just aging, but it turned out that it was a sign of poor circulation, not enough blood to the brain when bending over, and not enough to the limbs when at rest. If we had understood the circulatory system better, we might have saved her from a dangerous fall. The circulatory system doesn't scream like a heart attack or stroke. It whispers. It warns us with subtle signals: limp legs, numb hands, cold fingertips. And if we don't pay attention, by the time we do, we may be dead. The lesson here is, understanding how the circulatory system works is how we learn to listen to our bodies, every breath, every beat. Now you understand why the circulatory system is a silent, but extremely important lifeline. But there is one thing you may not know. There are millions of people living with a blocked circulatory system without even knowing it. So what are the signs that your facility is crying out for help in the silence? Join me in the next part to recognize the 7 early warning signs that you should basically not ignore. The human body is a marvel, but the most amazing thing, perhaps, is the way it always tries to talk to us. Not with words, not with screams, but with signs, gentle, silent, like something gently touching the shoulder, whispering, "Please pay attention to me." The perfect week doesn't always start with a tantrum or an acute condition. Often it comes on silently. You might feel cold hands and feet often, even when the weather is not very cold. Numbness in the fingertips, as if there are pins and needles. Mild dizziness when getting up too quickly. Dry, dull skin, especially on the feet or legs. Slow healing wounds, especially on the legs. Persistent fatigue, even when you get enough sleep. Weak pulses in the extremities. From small signs, it can be surprising if it happens only once. But if you start to see them over and over again, it's time to listen carefully. I once met a woman named Carol, in her mid-50s, who lived in Montana. She worked at her little cakes and prided herself on being a hard worker, never complaining. Carol said she often found her feet cold when she sat for long periods of time, sometimes with unusual aging in her calves. but she dismissed it as baking all day. Then one day, she fell silent as she got up from her chair. Undoublik public. It was then that she went to the doctor and discovered she had early signs of peripheral artery disease. Carol didn't need surgery, but she did have to change her lifestyle, start exercising lightly, and adjust her diet. Luckily, I got to the doctor in time, she says. If I had waited a few months longer, I can't imagine what would have happened. We often forget that prevention is always easier than cure. Sometimes, just paying attention to a numb hand, an unusual fatigue, a slow healing wound, can change the course of your health. The lesson here is, your body never betrays you. It just needs you to listen a little sooner. Now you know what the early signs look like. But there's an even more important question. Why does circulation deteriorate in the first place? What's silently harming your blood vessels every day? Join me in the next section, where we unpack the silent but all too common causes of blood not flowing as it should. Peripheral artery disease, the silent threat. Not all risks make a sound. There are things that go on silently in your body every day, every hour, that you don't even know about. One of them is PAD, a silent disease, but with very real consequences. PAD, or peripheral artery disease, occurs when the blood vessels in your limbs, especially your legs, become narrowed or blocked by plaque. This reduces blood flow to your limbs. The consequences, at first, pain when you walk. Then comes numbness, coldness, and a purple discoloration of the skin. If left untreated, it can lead to ulcers, infections, gangrene, and even amputation. PAD isn't just a problem for your legs. It's a sign that blood vessels throughout the body are in danger, especially in the heart and brain. People with PAD are at a much higher risk of heart attacks and strokes. I met a man named Hank in Arizona, an avid hiker. At age 62, he started noticing that he couldn't walk as far as he used to. Every mile or so, his right foot would ache, as if someone was squeezing it from the inside. But he ignored it, thinking, I must be getting old. He changed his shoes, slowed down, even took an easier route. A year later, a small wound on his ankle wouldn't heal for weeks. Hank went to the doctor and was diagnosed with advanced PAD. Blood flow to his feet was almost completely cut off. Fortunately, thanks to early intervention and aggressive treatment, he avoided amputation. But he once told me, I wish I had listened to my body sooner. PAD didn't kill me, but it robbed me of my freedom for a year. PAD often goes undetected until it's too late. Not because there are no signs, but because we think those signs are normal. But the truth is, pain when walking, cold feet, slow healing wounds, these are not signs of aging. They are warning signs. And like all warning signs, the longer you wait, the worse the consequences. We've learned what PAD is and why it's dangerous. But PAD doesn't come out of nowhere. It's the result of very familiar factors, ones that many of us face every day. In the next section, we'll dive into the common causes of poor circulation, so you can not only know the problem, but also prevent it from happening at the root. When your feet are cold, the problem may not be in your feet. It's in your heart, in your brain, in your lungs. Poor circulation is never a single problem. It's a bell that rings for the whole body. Many people think that poor circulation only affects the hands and feet, numbness, coldness, cramps. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. When blood flow is impaired, it's not just the feet that lack oxygen. Every organ in the body is affected. Brain, anemia can cause fatigue, memory loss, and lack of concentration. The risk of stroke increases. Heart. When blood circulation is impaired, the heart has to work twice as hard to pump blood, which can lead to heart failure or heart attack. Kidneys. This blood filtering organ is very sensitive to lack of oxygen. Kidney failure is a common consequence of poor circulation. Skin and immune system. Blood carries nutrients and white blood cells. If your blood flow is poor, your skin will be dry and dull. Wounds will take longer to heal, and you'll be more susceptible to infection. Think of blood as a river that supplies water to every field. If the water flow is weak, the trees don't just wither on the riverbank, they wither all over the field. Karen, a 55-year-old elementary school teacher in Minnesota, complained that she felt tired all the time, couldn't concentrate in class, and sometimes forgot familiar words. At first, her doctor thought it was stress or menopause, but Karen insisted on further testing. The result? Her brain circulation was severely impaired by atherosclerosis in her carotid arteries, one of the leading causes of stroke. Thanks to early detection, she was able to get timely intervention. Just a few months later, she said, "I got my energy back. I got myself back." Poor circulation doesn't always knock on the door with obvious pain. It often knocks on the door with persistent fatigue, with cold hands in the summer, with a sore that won't heal. And if you listen to those signals, you can prevent big things from happening. Remember, your body is always talking to you. It's just whether you're listening or not. Now you see, poor circulation doesn't just make you walk slower, it can weaken your entire system day by day. So what's causing all this trouble? What's choking the flow of life in your body? Let's explore the common causes of poor circulation in the next section, so you can start taking control at the root. Nutrition companion, vitamins and foods to improve circulation. Every time you choose what you put in your body, you're choosing to either add to the flow or slow down the pace of your life. There's no magic pill like a plate full of the right food. Your blood is the vehicle, but what you eat is the fuel that determines its speed and efficiency. When it comes to circulation, there are a few key groups of vitamins and minerals that play a key role. Vitamin C helps keep blood vessels healthy, preventing plaque buildup. Vitamin E acts as an antioxidant, helping blood flow more smoothly. Omega-3 south from fatty fish reduce inflammation, reduce blood viscosity, and support the heart and brain. Iron helps make red blood cells, ensuring enough oxygen travels throughout the body. Magnesium and potassium keep blood vessels flexible and blood pressure stable. And don't forget, water. A dehydrated body makes blood thicker, sluggish like a river without rain. Tony, a former truck driver in Georgia, used to live on canned food and soda every day. After experiencing mild chest pain and cold feet at night, his doctor discovered he had high triglycerides and signs of poor circulation. He didn't need immediate medication, but instead recommended dietary changes. Tony started simple, a breakfast of oatmeal, blueberries and walnuts, adding greens, salmon and olive oil to lunch, drinking 2 liters of water every day. After just 3 months, his numbers improved dramatically, and most importantly, Tony says, "I didn't just feel better. I felt alive." You don't need to change your entire refrigerator overnight, but you can change what you eat for breakfast tomorrow. Start with a glass of warm water in the morning, an orange, a handful of almonds. Small, repeated choices will nourish your inner flow light, steady, and full of life. But food isn't everything. For good circulation, your body needs to move steadily, flexibly, like a flowing stream. So what are the best exercises to help your circulation, no matter what age you are? Find out in the next section. Movement matters, exercises that keep your blood flowing. Lifestyle changes, small daily habits that keep your blood flowing. Happiness doesn't come from big decisions in life. It comes from the little things you repeat every day, like how you start your morning or how you treat yourself. You may have heard, you are what you eat. But there's something equally true, you are what you do every day. When it comes to blood circulation, food is just part of the picture. Your daily habits, from how you sit, how you breathe, even how you deal with stress, have a profound impact on the flow inside your body. Here are a few simple changes that can make a big difference. Walk for 5 minutes every hour. Prevents blood from pooling, especially for office workers. Get enough sleep, because at night the circulatory system recovers. Reduce stress. High cortisol causes vasoconstriction, increases blood pressure, and affects the cardiovascular system. Don't smoke, because nicotine narrows blood vessels, reducing blood flow. Drink warm water instead of cold, helps blood vessels expand more gently. Linda, a 62-year-old grandmother in Vermont, used to think she was too old to change. Every morning she woke up with cold feet, numb fingers, and fatigue that lasted until noon. One day, while waiting to see a doctor, she read a line in a magazine. "Your circulation doesn't get worse with age, it's how you live with it." She started making small changes. Take a 10-minute walk after lunch. Meditate for 5 minutes in the evening. Drink warm water instead of iced tea. Practice 3 deep breaths whenever you feel anxious. After 6 weeks, Linda not only felt warmer in her hands and feet, but also lighter. "I never thought that just being gentler with my body would give me so much back," Linda says. You don't need a revolution. You just need a gentler choice every day, like getting up from your desk to stretch for 2 minutes, like putting a glass of warm water by your bed. Taking care of your circulatory system doesn't start at the doctor's office, it starts in your own home. But even if you eat well, exercise regularly, and live a healthy lifestyle, there's something else that's important: your body's signals. There are symptoms that seem small, but are early reminders from the heart, blood vessels, and every cell. In the next part, we will explore red flags, when to seek medical help immediately, medical natural pressure, herbs and supplements to support blood circulation. Since ancient times, humans have turned to nature as a healing teacher. There are leaves, small roots, but they have the power to nourish the flow of life. You may be wondering, do capsules, herbal teas, really improve blood circulation? The answer is yes, but not all are equally effective, and not everyone needs the same. Some herbs and supplements have been scientifically proven to vasodilation, mild blood clotting, increase blood flow to the extremities, reduce inflammation and increase the elasticity of blood vessel walls. Here are a few notable examples. Ginkgo biloba improves brain circulation, enhances memory. Cayenne pepper contains capsaicin, supports gentle dilation of blood vessels. Garlic may help lower blood pressure and reduce plaque buildup. Omega-3 from fish oil helps blood flow more smoothly. Beetroot, rich in natural nitrates, helps blood vessels expand naturally. However, there is no magic pill. These products are only effective when combined with a healthy lifestyle, proper diet, and understanding your body. Greg, a 54-year-old engineer living in Oregon, used to believe in modern medicine. But after experiencing persistent numbness in his legs despite no serious medical conditions, his wife, who loves traditional medicine, suggested he try ginkgo biloba and beetroot tea every morning, combined with walking and cutting down on caffeine. After just 4 weeks, Greg noticed that his legs were warmer in the morning and the numbness was significantly reduced. He shared, "I used to think herbs were just a legend, but sometimes it is the harmony between modern and traditional that brings true balance to the body." Nature gives us many gifts, but not all of them are for everyone. Always research carefully before using. Consult your doctor if you are taking medication. Be patient and monitor how your body responds. Healing is not about following trends, it is a journey to find inner harmony. But beyond supplementation, there's another important factor. Listen to your body's real warning signs. Unusual pains, changes you shouldn't ignore, that's the urgent language of the circulatory system. In the next part, we will learn red flags, when to seek medical help immediately, signs you shouldn't hesitate, exercise and movement, activities to increase blood circulation. There's a simple but powerful thing. The body is made to move. And when you move, you're not just helping your legs or arms, you're helping the very flow of life in you become healthier. When you exercise, your muscles not only work to keep you flexible, but also have a direct impact on your circulatory system. Muscle contractions help pump blood back to the heart, especially in the lower limbs, where blood must travel against gravity. Increased exercise also helps dilate blood vessels, improving blood flow. Reduce the risk of blood clots, help lower blood pressure and maintain a healthy body weight. Just gentle steps, stretching exercises or favorite activities such as dancing, swimming, are all great ways to nourish the circulatory system. Linda, 67, is a grandmother who loves to dance. After being diagnosed with diabetes and having signs of poor circulation in her legs, her doctor advised her to exercise regularly to improve her blood circulation. She did not choose high-intensity exercises but continued to dance her favorite dance every day. Results: the numbness and coldness in her feet gradually decreased. She felt her health improved significantly. Her mood and sleep were also much better, Linda said. "I find that dancing not only keeps me healthy but also makes me happy, and that is the most important thing. The important thing is not to exercise too much or too hard, but to exercise regularly according to your ability. Start with gentle steps or small movements every day, and gradually increase the intensity as your body gets used to it. If there are signs of pain or discomfort, do not force it. Rest and consult a specialist." Remember that every movement you make is a step toward keeping your blood healthy and fresh. So besides exercise, what else does your body need to maintain good circulation? We've looked at herbs, supplements, and exercise. But there's one more important part: how you take care of yourself through sleep, stress reduction, and emotional management. In the next part, let's explore holistic care, sleep, stress, and emotional balance for circulation health, comprehensive care to nourish life. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, the challenges we face can feel overwhelming. It's important to remember that seeking professional help is not a sign of weakness, it's a brave and necessary step toward healing and growth. Imagine Sarah, a woman in her mid-40s, juggling a demanding career and family responsibilities. Over time, she noticed that the stress and emotional strain were affecting her daily life: sleepless nights, persistent anxiety, and difficulty connecting with her loved ones. After months of trying to manage on her own, she finally reached out to a counselor. That decision changed everything. With professional guidance, Sarah learned coping strategies and gradually regained her balance and peace. Medical and mental health professionals can offer tailored support that goes beyond what friends or family might provide. Therapists, counselors, and doctors can help diagnose underlying issues, whether it's chronic stress, depression, or another condition. Sometimes, medication or specialized therapy might be recommended to help restore well-being. The key lesson here is this: don't wait until things spiral out of control. If you or someone you care about persistent notices changes in mood, behavior, or physical health, it's time to reach out. Early intervention often leads to better outcomes and prevents deeper struggles down the road. As we've seen through Sarah's story and many others, asking for help is a sign of strength, a commitment to yourself and those you love. Remember, you don't have to face these challenges alone. With that in mind, let's take a moment to reflect on the bigger picture: how understanding, support, and awareness can transform lives, and what steps each of us can take to foster a healthier, more compassionate community. Taking charge of your circulatory health is one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself. It's about embracing small, intentional choices every day that build a foundation for long-term well-being. Let me tell you about James, a 52-year-old man who, like many of us, thought he was too busy to worry much about his health. When a mild chest discomfort prompted him to see a doctor, James was surprised to learn he was already at risk for serious circulatory problems. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, James took it as a wake-up call. He made simple but meaningful changes: walking after dinner, swapping fried foods for fresh vegetables, and making time for moments of calm in his hectic life. What James discovered was truly empowering. Prevention isn't about drastic changes overnight. It's about being mindful, listening to your body, and making gradual improvements. This proactive mindset can reduce your risk of heart disease, improve circulation, and boost your energy levels. A key lesson here is that your health is in your hands. While genetics and circumstances play a role, the choices you make every day add up. Staying active, eating well, managing stress, and having regular checkups create a protective circle around your heart and vessels. As we wrap up this journey together, remember, empowerment means more than just knowledge. It means acting on it, trusting yourself, and reaching out when you need support. When you take these steps, you're not only caring for your body but also nurturing a future full of vitality and joy. Now, let's look ahead to how we can keep this momentum going, building habits that last, inspiring those around us, and embracing a lifestyle that honors the heart of who we are.